So I think the first excuse people tend to make while decluttering is with a sentimental attachment. It took me a while as well. It took me a while to get over a lot of items that I thought had sentimental value, but it really didn't. So to put it in better perspective for you guys, I do feel like people often hesitate to declutter due to sentimental attachments to items, making it incredibly challenging to let go of those items. And I have countless videos of how to let go of sentimental items and how I, organize my sentimental items. I actually have like this small little memory box. It works so well for me because in the beginning of my minimalist journey, I wanted to keep everything down to like the hair from my first haircut. I wanted to keep it. I wanted all of it. First haircut, my baby teeth, I wanted to keep all of it. And then I realized, like, why am I keeping these items? Like, why am I holding on such, to old hair, old teeth, and, other items like a captain gown from high school from 2010. I was holding on to a lot of things when in reality, some of those items were actually holding me back. So obviously I got rid of the hair, the teeth, I got rid of the captain gown. I think what helped me too, and this might not be for everybody, but what helped me get rid of a lot of sentimental items is taking a picture of it and then letting it go. I know that sounds crazy. Like when it came down to my prom dress, I have quite a few photos of me in my prom dress. And I knew that I was never going to wear it again, but I kept that prom dress for like 5 years, thinking that maybe I'll go to like a ball one day and wear it. No, that day never came. I never went to no ball, and I then realized like I need to get rid of this prom dress. I already have the memories, like I have the pictures. I just don't need to save this dress. And it was getting pretty outdated. It was around the time, I graduated in 2010. So it was around the time where like bedazzles were in, and it was all black with like bedazzles here. And it had like a little bit of a ruffle, like a little ruffle tank top. So anyways, it was outdated, and I felt like, you know what? I gotta let it go. Gotta let it go. It's just a dress. It's not the actual memory. The memory I have is, in the photos, like things like that. And also I think a memory book does help too. So you can always like put your photo of that certain item in the memory book and then like write a whole like little paragraph or a whole thing about it. That helps out more than actually having the physical item on hand. So I know this is not for everybody. I wasn't even going to bring this up because I feel like when it comes to sentimental items, everyone has their own take. There can be a lot of conflict with what to keep, what means value to you when it comes to like memories and things like that. So that's why I don't talk too much about it. But what helped me out a lot is just keeping that one small box. So there are some times like I kind of get rid of some things that are in the box because I'm like, you know what? I don't really have an attachment to this item anymore. And if I want to, I could take a picture of it and save that as a memory so that, pictures take up far less space. Again, not for everybody, but that's what helped me. And that's one of the biggest excuses people make while decluttering is, I can't get rid of that. My great grandmother gave me that. I can't get rid of that. My dad's friend of a friend gave me that. Like the list goes on and on. Like you start to make excuses for every little item in your home, and before you know it, your home is filled with sentimental items that don't hold sentimental value. The one saying I hate hearing so much, and that is, I can't get rid of it just yet, Kira. I might need it someday. You guys, it all comes down to the fear of potential future use, and it can lead to hoarding in the future, with certain people, to part with items they believe might be useful someday. So I hear that more often in the sentimental situation. I hear I might need it someday, so put it back. I hear that a lot with my family members. I hear that a lot with I heard that a lot even at work. I used to be the person at all of my jobs to organize, declutter, And I would have to keep a box on the side because I know that the manager or someone was going to come to me saying, where is that thing? I might need it someday. Where is it? And that someday never comes. So this is another example of like, make sure when you're decluttering, what you're decluttering, you're not having this excuse, I may need it someday, because I guarantee you 98% of the time when you say that, those are the items that you will never use. Ever. I have dealt with that too, way before I knew about this lifestyle. In 2010, 2011, I used to keep purple lipsticks, black lipsticks, yellow lipsticks. I used to be a makeup hoarder. And I remember like my sister saying, you don't even wear those colors. And I'm like, whoa, I may need it someday. You never know. What if I go to a Halloween party and I need purple lipstick? What if I go to blah, blah, blah and I need black lipstick? There was no parties. There was no parties to go. All that stuff expired. Make sure what you're decluttering actually serves value to your lifestyle. Make sure it's something that you are going to use. It feels so great to be in a house where everything that you own, you use, and you don't have junk lying around. Another excuse that people tend to make is time. I don't have time to declutter. Many use the excuse of a busy schedule as a reason to delay decluttering, postponing the process indefinitely. I know I'm not a mom or anything, but you can also get the kids involved. You can teach them a thing or two when it comes to donating things to people in need. I don't think it's that tough when it comes to time. I used to work a crazy busy schedule when it came to doing this job and working full-time, or working overtime, I should say. I still made time to declutter some of the items that I didn't need. I still made time to deep clean my house. And yes, I do want to say like I don't have kids or anything like that, but I always made time to get what I wanted done, especially when it came to decluttering. I understand everyone lives a busy lifestyle. I totally get that. But if you can just carve out 5 to 10 minutes, like put a timer on your phone. It doesn't have to be crazy. Half the time you don't even want the timer to go off because you want to keep going. I don't know, that's what helped me out. Once when I did like a 5-minute little decluttering session on just like my lipsticks, and the timer went off, and I'm like, this is not that bad. This doesn't even take that much time. Like, I'm done with the lipsticks. Let's move on to the eyeshadows. I do want to point out though, you do want to take your time. You don't want to like rush through the decluttering process. I talk about that too, where you could be like potentially getting rid of items that you love. So be careful with what you're decluttering. But there is always time. There will always be time. Decluttering can be time for yourself too. You can declutter the bathroom, declutter the kitchen. Start with a small room first. Put on a podcast, put on a show. I always have like, when it comes to cleaning, I always have like Hallmark playing in the background on my phone or on the projector. And that's what just keeps me going. You can also play the clean with me or the decluttering videos. There's a lot of other YouTubers that are decluttering as well, so you guys can like do it together, and technically motivates you. I know when I watch like those clean with me videos, I'm motivated. Like, I want to clean my stove, I want to clean the car. So it just does something for you, it does something for your motivation. Now, I don't want to say that this is a total excuse. This can cause a lot of anxiety, which I have felt, and that is the feeling of overwhelmness and just giving up in the middle of your decluttering process. And I have dealt with this. So basically what I'm trying to say is the sheer volume of possessions can be overwhelming, causing people to avoid decluttering as they don't know where to start. And this is what happened to me when it came to my clothes. I had a lot of clothes back in the day. Bins and bins of clothes, because I used to go to the thrift stores a lot back then, and kind of ironic because I wear the same thing all the time now. Compared to back then, I would own like 100 sweaters, 50 sweatpants. Like, it was insane. And I didn't know where to start because I was also selling more than half of this stuff. So it's like, all right, what do I do first? I'm so overwhelmed. What helped me was the old-fashioned category. If you have a lot of makeup, go buy lipsticks only. Do not start with the lip gloss. Do not go with the lip balm. Lipsticks. sticks. Go with the lipsticks. Declutter the ones that are expired, declutter the ones that aren't your color, and stick with the ones that you truly like. That's what helped me out. I went with categories. With the bathroom, start with cleaners, like under the sink. All right, get rid of any cleaners that are expired, any toxic cleaners. When it comes to feeling overwhelmed in a space that is filled with a lot of stuff, the best thing that you can do for yourself to not feel high anxiety and just quit the decluttering process altogether is to take your time. For one, put on some relaxing music, like I said, motivating videos, and start by categories. Start by the linen closet. Maybe you want to get rid of towels that have holes in them and that are stained and old. So start with that. And you can also donate old towels. I do want to put that out there. If you're starting with like a linen closet or the bathroom, donate your old towels, fades, cloths to your local animal shelter or other shelters. But I do know that animal shelters are always looking for towels, blankets, things like that. So little FYI. But yeah, just start small. When it comes to a house that has a lot of things in it, the best thing you can do for yourself and your mental health is to start small. You do not have to do the entire house in a day or even in a year. You can take as much time as you want because it's your life. Try your best to relax and start in categories. That will help you out the most. At least for me, when it came to all the clothes I had, I started with short sleeve shirts only. I got rid of the ones that were ripped and I started taking pictures of the ones that didn't fit well. Once when that was all set, I put those that I was gonna sell in a box beside me and put them to the side until they were sold on like Poshmark, Mercari. And the ones that I wanted to keep, I threw on the side to wash. Like I said, I used to hoard all of these clothing items and they were in like bins for a long time. So some of them did smell a little bit. When you put clothes away, they don't smell clean anymore. So that's what I did. I started with the t-shirts. Then I went on to the tank tops. Then I went on to the long sleeves. Instead of going through everything like sporadically, that can cause a lot of overwhelm feeling. So categories. Categories are your best friend when it comes to decluttering and also taking your time. And the last thing that I want to mention is perfectionism. I myself have been through this too. I've actually been through a lot of these. But I have been through the whole perfectionism and the desire for a flawless, organized outcome, which may discourage individuals from starting the decluttering process if they fear they can't achieve perfection. I was like that, especially with this apartment. Like when we moved in here, I was like, how am I gonna make this apartment look nice? Like it's always dark. We don't have recessed lighting. We don't have, look at the color of the door. Like this apartment's very, very old. And I felt like, what am I going to do to make this place look perfect? So I started to buy things like containers and I started to go on Pinterest and I drove myself freaking crazy. Even though I have been a minimalist for a long time, I drove myself crazy with moving into this place because I was aiming for perfectionism, making this place look aesthetically appealing to my audience. And I'm glad I learned to get out of that because I have decluttered so many containers that I have purchased. I have decluttered a lot of products. I've decluttered a lot of things. With the 3 years of me living here, I've made mistakes. Again, I'm not perfect. Just because I live a minimalist lifestyle doesn't mean I will never make mistakes again. That doesn't exist. I'll always make mistakes. Making mistakes is how you grow in life. So I took this opportunity as like a growing experience and realized like I was aiming for perfectionism, especially when it comes to Pinterest and those aesthetically pleasing pictures you see on Instagram. Yes, it's nice to get some inspiration, but you do not have to follow that inspiration to a T. Be very, very careful on the photos that you save because none of us live the same lives. None of us live in the same apartments. And most of the time we cannot find the same exact product, with what's in the picture, which is advertising to us. So when it comes to decluttering and aiming for perfection, it doesn't exist. Perfection doesn't exist at all in life, to be honest. So declutter and make your house look peaceful and comfortable for yourself and your family instead of the online world, instead of just a picture you've seen on Pinterest. Trust me, you will feel a lot more at ease and a little bit more grateful too with what you have. I know for myself, for the past 3 years of living here, I've been whining about the lighting, whining about the carpet, and I'm learning now, every part in your life is a chapter. So I know we will eventually move out of here, and who knows where we'll end up next. Maybe I'll have wallpaper, and instead of me aiming for aesthetically pleasing perfection, I need to work with what I have and be grateful with what I have. So as long as you have a house that you feel safe and calm in and peace in, that's all that truly matters. On that note, you guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will catch you in the next one.